Let's bring in Court TV crime and justice correspondent Matt Johnson. Join us live from Dedham, Massachusetts with more on what happened today. Matt, great to see you. What a dramatic day. Wow. That was huge. Who else did the jury hear from today?
Yeah, big day, Vinny. And a dramatic day, like you were saying, here in Dedham, Massachusetts, day 4 of the murder trial against Brian Walshe. And we were hearing from a lot of key witnesses, not just the paramour, not just the lover who said that, you know, he was in love with Anna and he was afraid that Brian Walshe was going to find out. But we also heard from other key witnesses, including people that knew the couple before her disappearance and some fitness instructors that interacted with her just hours before she went missing and said, in their opinion, that she was in perfect health. Take a listen to this.
Our members asked about their health.
Yes.
In December of 2022, how often would Anna Walshe attend Bar Method?
3 or 4 times at least. And she was doing the push-ups on the balls of her feet, on her hands. She was completing the motions.
You're not a doctor?
No.
You're not a nurse?
I am not.
Did you perform any type of medical tests on Anna Walshe on December 31st?
No, I did not.
Anna's health, of course, important to the prosecution case, as the defense alleges that she had an unknown health condition and died suddenly. That's how Brian Walshe discovered her in their bed of their home. We also heard from someone else that knew the couple, and this was the children's teacher at their daycare, their school. And someone, one of the people that took the stand today, they were talking about how Brian Walshe dropped off the children after his wife disappeared, and he was acting extra strange. Take a listen.
So in January of 2023, how many days did you see Mr. Walshe drop off the children?
2 days.
Which days?
I want to say it was the 3rd and 4th.
January 3rd, that'd be a Tuesday, and January 4th, a Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay. And what was his demeanor when he dropped the children off on those days?
He came in with the boys and went through the other door, the other key code door, and they did not come in the office. I do remember saying hello to him, and I believe my assistant director was also in the office. We both said, "Hi, Brian, good morning." You know, like I said, that was part of our routine to greet the families.
And what was his demeanor?
It was, you know, in a rush. You know, it's kind of like, come on, boys, let's go. I remember, you know, when they went through, and that was, you know, that was it. They went to, he dropped the children off at class. So it was, you know, definitely a little different than the usual conversations we would have in the morning.
Okay, now during that testimony, I'm looking over at the jury in that jury box, and those jurors, Vinny, they were taking a lot of notes, but also looking over at the defense table where Brian Walshe just has a dead pan on his face for much of the testimony today.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever good when they start eyeballing the defendant inside the courtroom. By the way, have you ever taken a bar class? Those things are impossible. I took a few bar classes once. Impossible. You've got to be in tremendous physical shape to take care of that. All right. Any other evidence presented today?
Yeah, there's a lot of other physical evidence and really circumstantial evidence that were really important for this jury. Again, they were taking a lot of notes, and I want to go through it with you. There was investigators that were talking about Walshe's cell phone, the pinging of his cell phone at particular locations, matching some of those dumpster locations where trash pulls were done, where some of that key evidence that we heard about yesterday, including some of that bloody evidence that appeared to be bloody, and also some of those tools. Well, then we also saw some of these surveillance videos that matched the pinging of the cell phone that showed a car matching his, where prosecutors say that they saw some of that evidence that he was throwing away, that they allege. The day ended with a digital expert who analyzed the cell phones, Brian Walshe and Anna Walshe, and they claimed that Brian Walshe, after she disappeared, was impersonating her at some point and sending messages or calling his phone. A lot of strange stuff. This particular witness, this expert, the data expert, is still on his direct examination. Tomorrow, that cross will be very interesting, Vinny.
Absolutely. And still, like, he's leaning on cause of death. That's what the case is about, how she died. He's admitting getting rid of her body.
Right.
But he's saying it's all because he panicked. Like, ironically, Matt, you know, if she died of some natural cause, the way you would figure it out would be with an autopsy, but somebody destroyed the evidence and got rid of the body, so that evidence won't be in front of the jury. That was Mr. Walsh that did it.
You're right.
Thank you, Matt. Let's bring in our think tank. Joining us tonight, criminal defense attorney, legal analyst Carmen Rowe, along with attorney Ali Benevento, and criminal defense attorney and lawyer Lori on TikTok. Lori Murray is with us. Okay, Carmen, the lover, took this jury inside this marriage. She wasn't happy. I've got to, you know, if she's telling the lover she's not happy, I think that is somehow manifesting itself back at home. Brian Walshe is suspicious of all of it. The thing was falling apart. His life is falling apart. He's going to federal prison. His wife's moving to D.C. She makes all the money. He's going to lose it all. The guy just snapped.
No question, Vinny. And look, the motive is as old as time. I mean, this is the motive that most of these cases we watch are about. A lover, deception, betrayal, lies. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting watching this lover testify how open and conspicuous and consistent they were seeing each other. Restaurants, bars, on his boat, staying the night at his house, making plans. But then what's also interesting is you listen to him, and they weren't getting together on New Year's Eve or on New Year's Day. They were getting together on the 4th, and there was a fight about it. Why? Because she's lying to her husband, and he knows it. And we know that because he called this guy. I mean, I just think the deception and the lies is just, it's a lightning bolt situation for anyone, and I think it was for this defendant.
Yeah, Ali, to me, it paints the picture of why. Like, the jury can understand why he would do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And even without all of that, Vinny, look at all of the other evidence. Yes, it's circumstantial, but these jurors are going to be incredibly smart. It doesn't take a lot to put this together. Even if you take the paramour completely out of the picture, this guy's Google searches, his shopping history, all of it piling up. There's really just, and I hate to say it as a criminal defense attorney myself, but there is really one reasonable inference to be drawn from this mountain of circumstantial evidence, and it's that the husband killed her.
Yeah. Well, again, he went into court, Lori, and said, yeah, I get rid of her body. But I just found her. She was dead. She was dead. Meanwhile, she's taking a bar class, you know, like an hour before, or, you know, a couple days before, whatever it is. Like, there's no indication that there's anything wrong with her. He's trying to use the old Chad Daybell, Tammy Daybell, oh, she just died and rolled out of the bed. Like, come on. We're not buying it. I don't think the jury's buying it. And any chance that he had to prove that she died of natural causes was destroyed by him. He's the one who admittedly destroyed that evidence.
Well, you know, I agree. But this just goes, I think we have to take a moment and appreciate the brilliance of his defense attorneys, because sometimes we get cases where there just appears to be literally no defense to it. This appeared to be one of those. And he has come in and made some lemonade out of his lemons. He's found a defense. I mean, you've got a mountain of evidence against this guy. The Google searches alone are basically how not to get away with murder. And then you've got 10 bags of bloody items, blood in the car, you know, everything leading to this guy's guilt. But none of it, with this defense, the way he's put it out there, none of it matters. It only matters as to what or how she died. Everything else he's explained by pleading guilty to the conveyance of the body. Anything else, like all of the things they're talking about, he can stand up and close the argument and say, look, it doesn't really matter. None of that matters. It's a red herring. Don't look at that. Look at how she died. I don't think he's going to win that, obviously, but the attorney, good Lord, that man found something to actually argue in front of a jury in a case like this. Yeah,
and you need that. But Carmen, as a prosecutor, I would eat that up and say, oh man, if only there was a way to prove how she died. How do we do that, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Oh, autopsies. But we can't do that in this case. Why wasn't there an autopsy? Oh, that's right. Because the defendant over there got rid of the evidence. He got rid of the body. Like, what better way to prove your innocence than to have a doctor come in and say she died from an aneurysm? But it's never going to happen.
I totally agree, Vinny. I think it's interesting. We had a case here in Galveston, Texas, just south of Houston, where a person admitted, the Durst case, where he admitted to ultimately chopping up the body, but he was found not guilty of the murder. It's so interesting that they come in on the front end and say, yeah, okay, we chopped up the body, and we're going to make this a really narrow issue for the jury and an easier issue for the state. But why? Why would you plead guilty ahead of time? Muddy it up in the middle of trial, see what happens. And I agree with Lori. I think it is, a great defensive issue when there is no defensive issue. But I think they made it way too easy for the state in this case.